Greetings, everyone. Let's hear that laughter. That's Paul Critt's laughter in the background. Hey, folks, you're tuned into the Royal Radio Receptors of KFUG 101.1 FM on the cosmos of coastal Crescent City, California. I'm Jacques Kepner, and I am sitting with a weird microphone in front of me, but that's because we have so many guests in the studio today. And I'm using a different microphone. So besides the squeaky chair, which you hear, you might be hearing a little bit of this because I'm moving this microphone around. Thanks, Paul Kritz, for being a great manager and coming in and helping me set this up. Each week, this is a live show that features candid conversation with rich variety of local interesting folks that call our magical seaside kingdom home. If you are hearing this show either live, streaming, or rebroadcasting, count yourself lucky to be and fortunate that you have such a great local community radio station as KFUG, serving you 24/7. Let me drop my earphones there. And it's not just listening, it's getting involved with your local voice. Volunteer, contribute, donate your money and time to a cool, non-profit, non-commercial radio station like KFUG. You can find out more by going to kfugradio.org. All right, let's see. Shuffle my papers. I love shuffling papers. It's live radio, so you can imagine all these papers, and I'm shuffling. There's a bunch of gum wrappers in there, too. Never chew gum on the radio, so they say. I have a bit of a prologue before I launch in and talk about our guest here in the studio today. Let me get my other glasses on here, and I am going to talk about what today's subject is going to be for just a few moments, and then we will get right down to it, to our guest, and this will be a great show because I have indeed some great guests on the show. Today, I want us all to contemplate this. Where would we be without art? Isn't art how we make sense of the beauty and the pain and the joy and the struggles that colors in the canvas of our mortality and our existence? Art can unmask the unseen landscapes of the psyche and create connections with the universal language of emotions and imagination. Art is how cultures honor their values, mythologies, and histories. It ensures the voice of our ancestral past to live on in vibrant, new ways. I believe art reminds us to pause and marvel at the wonder and the complexity of simply being human. It gives us permission to explore the full spectrum of the human conditions in real time. I love present moment living, folks, and art is present moment 101. It's living and freedom of expression 101. So, as you go about your daily and weekly business, I implore you to seek out opportunities to immerse yourself more in the arts. I assure you, it cannot hurt you, and hopefully it will awaken your spirit by allowing art to speak to your soul. So I urge you, please, go visit a gallery, a local gallery. Go to a museum, dance when music speaks to you. Well, that's enough of my verbiage. Today on Jacques Talk, we will explore and plumb the depths of art, and particularly the local art here in Crescent City, with not one, not two, not three, but 4 real, living, breathing artists. And so, with a drum roll, I wish to welcome to the KFUG studio Gail Arsenault. Gail, hello. And I have over here to her left is Stephen Washburn. How are you? Good. And then we've got Amy Johnston.
Yes.
Johnston.
Mm-hmm.
And
Hi.
then and to your left is
Philip Wadsworth.
Philip Wadsworth. There we go. Thank you. That's a mouthful because I usually don't have more than 2 guests, but thank you so much for coming in to the studio today. All right. I'll start with you where we just left. Philip, where did you grow up? How did you get up here to Crescent City?
Well, I was born and raised in Alameda, California, San Francisco Bay Area boy.
Okay.
Did a lot of traveling in the 60s, classic traveling hippie in the 60s. Got as far as Portland, Maine. Always have dabbled in art in some sort of way. You know, if I didn't have a canvas, I was putting collage together of found objects off the streets, dumpster diving, you know, whatever fulfilled, putting pennies on railroad tracks in order for
Squishing them out, right?
squish them out and make
Yeah.
jewelry out of them.
Wow.
You know, it's just whatever was in hand. Lived in the Bay Area before coming up here to Crescent City 12 years ago. I was forced out of Marin County. I loved West Marin, wonderful artist community there, but
Yeah.
I just couldn't afford to be there anymore. So a friend offered to that I take care of 5 acres in Fort Dick, and so I came up here on sight unseen and fell in love with it, fell in love with the people, fell in love with the artist community, immediately got involved, and Crescent Harbor Art Gallery is a wonderful place to create, to be a part of the community.
And you've been up here
Fellowship.
12 years. You still like it?
12, oh yeah,
Okay.
I'm not going anywhere.
All right. All right. Amy?
I can't imagine
Amy,
where I'd
where'd you
go.
grow up? Where are your seeds at?
I am originally from the San Francisco Bay Area.
Okay.
My parents moved to Colorado when I was 11 years old, 1976, and I've been
Okay.
trying to get back to California ever since.
Right. Okay.
And we moved here to Crescent City 8 months ago. So I'm still in the honeymoon phase, but I don't think that's going
Wow.
to end. I love it here.
Cool. And Stephen, what about you?
I grew up in New Hampshire.
New Hampshire. That's right. We talked about. I went to University of New Hampshire for a semester.
I was nearby there.
In Durham, right?
Yeah, and
Seems okay.
there's quite a painting community there. My mom and dad were painters, and started working in oil color and haven't quit.
Interesting.
Yeah, and
And when did you migrate out west?
yeah, that was a chase. I chased somebody out here, and I really like it here. It's like a whole nother place. I like to go back to make fun of my cousins the way they talk.
Right.
But I mean, I don't mean to make fun of them, but
Yeah.
you know how you mimic
You could do
stuff?
that to cousins. You could rib them a little
Yeah, but it's like, you know, like mimicry is kind of like a form of
True.
acceptance, you know.
How long have you actually been in Crescent City?
It's 8 years now.
Okay. And you
And
still
love
like
it. Yeah. We were formerly in Santa Cruz,
There you
and thought maybe we'd live there because that's where my wife and I met. And but we went on Google Maps and flew around here for a while and said, "Ooh, let's check it out."
Let's do it. Let's check it out. All right. And last but not least,
Yeah.
Gail.
Yeah, well, I was born in Chicago, Illinois.
Okay.
Moved to California when I was 2, and was raised partially in Southern California and partially in Sacramento, California. And but I've always loved the ocean. I've always been. My mom always tells me I've always been drawing since I can remember. I used to like to do the wall thing,
Right.
you know. And so she designated the closet for me to be in there and do my thing, you know. And it's just kind of in my blood, you know, to do that. I kind of traveled around quite a bit just to kind of see where I wanted to be at somewhere on the coast. I'm actually a kind of semi-transplant because I actually do live in Port Orford, but I'm a member of this gallery, and one of the reasons I really, really like it is because of the outreach that we do, especially with kids.
Cool.
You know,
So actually, how many years have you been here in Fort Dick, for instance?
in the area, I've been here 4 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're all relatively
so we're-
new,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I've been here a
So,
year,
yeah.
but I was in Brookings for a couple of years before that.
Yeah.
So we're all relatively new. You've got 12 years on us, Philip.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, Philip.
Yeah.
What? Before we get into the gallery, the meat and potatoes of the gallery, which is the Crescent Harbor Gallery here in Crescent City, California, what is the one thing, I'm going to ask each of you this question, just quickly give me an answer. What's the one thing we have that you miss the most that we don't have here in our coastal community? I ask this of everybody. Anybody want to chime in?
Well, I think that the art walks that used to be prevalent, not here, and also, you know, just in the area generally since COVID came and stopped all that, it would be great to see that happening again.
Yeah.
You know, for people just to be all over the place looking at art and people out there showing their stuff and everything. I think that would be awesome to see that
Right.
again. Yeah.
I wish we had a
Yeah.
freeway directly
Yeah.
to Medford. Just go boom, you're there in 45 minutes. We're
Yeah.
there. Or just go to,
Yeah.
like, driving down the Bay Area. It's beautiful. We all
Yeah.
know that. A lot of people say hospital stuff like that. My partner is Dr. Gigi. She's at Sutter Coast. I think it's a pretty good hospital myself. I've been fortunate. But, okay. Well, let's turn our attention to Crescent Harbor Art Gallery, which has been around. I just had my mind blown. I said, how long has it been around? And Stephen, you said how long?
65 years.
65 years. Wait, I'm 65.
That's prior to the tsunami.
Well, I was born in 58, so I share the same birth date as the gallery.
Yeah.
What do you know? 58. If that's truly, if it's
Cool.
right in the range within a year or two, well, that's great.
That's awesome.
Now I
Yeah.
know. Now it's like I'm gonna cozy up to my buddy.
It started in sort of a back room in the first membership's a house, and they utilized that for quite a long while. A small group of very active artists, and then they progressed into where we are now, down at the 140 Marin Way in at the harbor. And it's an old building, and it suits us just fine. There's been talks from time to time to move into different area, maybe downtown or something. But I think we are unique to the harbor and pretty famous for it. And I think we should never move anywhere. It's
Yeah,
a
I think
good
the harbor
chimes
good
in on that.
place.
I'm a newbie in town. 1 year here in Crescent City, and I think I might have finally discovered the gallery 6 months ago. I mean, where I finally went, wait a minute, there's a gallery. I know 2nd Street Gallery, and then that other one that's kind of over where they have the horses and outside or in front. But you're by far, I assume, and it's a 501c3, so it's a not-for-profit like our radio station here. And Amy, what kind of art do you? What's your medium?
I primarily work in acrylics. I do some mixed media.
So painting,
Painting.
Canvas or boards.
I will paint on anything. Paperboard, cardboard, the walls, you name it.
Yeah, things you find.
Anything.
Yeah.
Found objects.
Squish coins from the railroad.
Yeah.
Yeah, along the tracks. How about you, Gail? What is your medium?
Right now it's color pencil. A while back I was an acrylic artist too, but as soon as I started doing the color pencils, I just loved them and just stayed with them.
Right.
They're really awesome to use. I just
Wow.
love it. Yeah.
Is that Stephen? I've seen your card. You have washburnnet.com or no .net or washburnart.net. Is it?
Yeah, that's a
And you,
oil color.
it's all oil.
Oil color because it's wet, and you have to work with it wet.
Yeah.
And I remember that really stumped me for a long time. And I try to hammer it into shape, but it's more about finesse into. And I got to teach a kids class at Sunset High School, and really the class was to make a palette and just to get some colors that would be friends with each other, and but still cover the whole spectrum. And it was fun. And they got their paint, they got wet paint out, right? It doesn't dry. And you had to paint with it that way. And they didn't actually get much painting done, but just the preparation.
I wonder if majority of paintings are oil or are they acrylic? I'm going to say acrylic. I'm going to think.
Oh yeah,
It's much
acrylic.
easier to work with, right?
And acrylics made astounding advancement. It used to be like you couldn't paint new paint over wet because it was a different color when it dried.
Huh.
But they've perfected that,
Yeah.
and
Wow.
and the clarity of the color itself, the binder, the resins that they're using are exceedingly crystal clear now, and initially they weren't.
We're talking about acrylics, or are we talking about
The acrylics.
the acrylics? Yeah, the
binders
spectrum
were
is just
cloudy.
amazing.
And you
Yeah.
can get a red no matter what you did.
Yeah, my reds are a little hard to deal with. I get,
But but now
what is real red?
It's advanced enormously.
Yeah,
But I think I'm sticking with the wet just because it's what I stuck with.
it's old fashioned
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, right.
It's
I
harder
just,
to work
you
with. You
know.
can't use a hair blow dryer to fast. Make it a little quicker
really
dry
is.
up. A little,
Yeah.
You play that feature of it. That
Yeah.
that it doesn't drop.
How about you, Philip? What's besides painting those squish coins?
Oh, well, I work primarily in pastels, and I gave a pastel workshop about 5 months ago, and looking forward to doing one probably in the summer as well. I like pastels because they're easy to blend. The colors are incredibly vibrant, or very natural, earthy colors as well, depending on what you're after. But it's not to say, like I said, I play around, and
Right.
I'm working on collage right now for an entrance to the innovation art show that's coming up in April.
Oh yes, this is the one that's its deadline is coming up March 15th, right?
Actually,
So
we
the
extended
Ides-
that.
The Ides of March.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't have
We
to.
extended it to the 20th instead of the 15th.
Okay, Philip,
Still
give me.
register.
Yeah. Okay. So
then
that's
that
right.
gives you a
We
little
could
bit
talk
more
about
time.
that because you have an art show. It's a $25 entry fee, right, for them to bring anything they want. You want it more kind of eccentric, kind of different,
Oh, yeah.
innovative art.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
This says right here, I'm reading this, it says, innovation is not just any art show. It opens April 2nd, but it is now been extended for deadline to by March 20th, I see.
Yes, that's
Okay,
correct.
cool. So that's good. The Ides of March, nobody liked
Yeah,
that either. For all of our listeners' edification, Philip, what is a pastel?
Well,
Pastels.
it's pigments that are come in multiple forms. I prefer soft pastels because I like the colors and the ability to push them around, blend them together. Although it can go into oil pastels, which are much thicker.
They're like
and
crayons, right? We're talking
much
about
like a crayon.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
the crayons. That's the technical end of it. We are high tech here in this studio, as everybody knows. Yes, we are doing it again. Pull out your pen and paper now because we will be giving you lots of information as we get closer to the deadline of March 20th. Also, somebody tell the address. Let's be as descriptive as you can. For those that don't know where Crescent Harbor Art Gallery is, who's going to tell exactly where it is and how to get there and what's it next to? Anybody?
Well, it's off 101, and you go to Citizens Dock Road,
Okay.
and the harbor will be on your right, and all the parking there. You go just past England Marine, and you make a left, and we are at 140 Marin Way. It's a white building with some reddish trim, and we're right there on the corner, and everybody is certainly welcome to come down and say hi. We have art materials in the back room that anybody, whether you're a member or whether you're just passing through, touristi, or just want to spend a little time. We have paper, we have materials of all sorts to play.
Yeah.
Anybody is welcome to
Did
do
you
that.
say it's
So come on
Marine
down.
or Marin?
Marin Way.
Oh, so you did get Marin. You finally got Marin back in your life. You said
Yes.
earlier,
Yes.
I had to leave Marin behind. Now you've gained it because it's at 140 Marin Way. I thought it was Marine.
I did too.
Yeah.
It's probably
Well,
like
there's
tomato,
no E.
tomato, huh?
Yeah.
Unless I'm wrong.
Yeah.
There's no E.
I don't. Well, I don't know. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah.
That's where, and it's kind of like behind England's that
Yes.
marine supply store, and
Yes.
it's kind of in a way hidden, but I think once you find it in, and it's very open. It's very cool. I walked in and met a
Yeah.
couple nice people right off the bat. They were accommodating. I wanted just to see what the gallery was about.
Cool.
Doctor and I came out, I must say, just more recently, 3 or 4 weeks ago. So if you, and with some artwork that I had too, and they said, here, would you, and they said, yeah, put that in innovations. We're just
Yeah.
not any art show.
That's my girl Sharon.
Coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sharon will
I
say
met
hello to you. right
Actually,
away.
okay, so I met Sharon at the
that's
Commerce City Chamber of Commerce meeting.
Oh, she went. Oh, good.
Yeah, she went there.
cool.
So I
Awesome.
met her.
Yeah.
That's where I first met her. And then I thought I'd come in. And then the day I went in there, it was David and Mary were there.
Yeah.
David's the guy that has
yeah.
those big chess piece like
Uh-huh.
that
Yeah.
pretty eccentric
Yeah.
stuff, the art.
Absolutely.
What's it like where are our other galleries in town here? We have the Second Street, I think, which is kind of near the.
Second Street is, the entrance is on Second Street, right?
Right off of 101.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
In
kind of in
between the
that
each
north
way.
and south
it's
part of
kinda- yeah.
101.
Right.
Yeah.
Just as you come into town from the marina.
It's right next door to this Leo's Pipe and
Yeah.
I don't know if they're pot store or what, pipe and pot store, because I parked in their parking and they said, "Hey, you."
Oh, did they do that
Yeah,
again?
they
Really?
did.
Oh,
Hey,
man.
you! I got to move your car. I don't blame them. I mean, it's their own private parking lot.
Yeah.
There was 50,000 spaces, and
Yeah.
nobody was.
I'll be
there.
darned.
But it's okay. No,
Yeah.
I know
Yeah.
they were nice. They were nice. It's okay. We moved the car exactly about 10 feet and was out of the parking lot on the other side.
Yeah.
So there are some of these.
And we work together, Don Phillips, and we try to help each other out.
You're talking about the other gallery,
The Second
at Second
Street
Street
Second
Gallery.
Street Gallery,
Yeah. Do
Yeah.
they have a teaching part of the gallery?
Yes, they do.
They do,
They
yeah.
do, and
That's
they're,
where the music part that we went there for a music venue.
Yeah,
Yeah, they do have a variety of
Both,
things that
yeah.
they do.
they're
Right.
having an Irish tea this Saturday.
An Irish tea this
An
Saturday.
Irish tea, a ladies' Irish tea.
A high tea.
Yeah.
And on
we go.
Wednesdays, my friend Jenny teaches ukulele lessons.
Ukulele.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Jenny ukulele. And if they're, then they do that in that little separate room. But getting back to Crescent Harbor, you have, as Philip alluded to earlier, you have that big room in the back.
Yeah, we do. And
Which
that's
is
where
kinda
our
cool.
classroom is at and where we teach all our art classes, especially for the kids.
Is it a
Yeah.
membership kind of a deal that I need to check into to become a member of the art gallery?
Easily done, very reasonably priced, $40 a year. I think it's 45 for family, and you can't beat the price.
Right.
And,
Yeah.
that allows you, by being a member, it allows you to show your artwork as well. We change our art out every 2 months.
Okay.
And you're allowed a certain amount of your artwork by being a member. So,
Yeah, I think
And-
it's about 3 pieces depending on the size.
depending on the
So,
size,
yeah.
And when people can just come in there, it's a formal gallery where you look. I remember talking with David, the guy that was there the day I was there, and he said, "Hey, in the city, I'd be getting considerably more money for my art." So you got to kind of know your place and time. He thinks he has to. He was telling me it's just not going to be the high end art here. You're not going to find it here, or you might find it, but it's going to be a great place to buy because people come from all over. It's according to David and Mary, we're saying people will come by because they know there's some exceptional deals here at this at the Crescent
True.
Harbor Gallery. Stephen, how long is it? Is it a 2-month gig? Is that what Philip just said? A 2 months approximately of running time of any artist?
For that
Art
particular
changes
art.
out every 2 months.
Every 2 months.
Excuse me,
Okay.
Steve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we do have an artist of the month section where each artist, chooses their time to show their artwork that whole month.
Cool.
So,
And
which
that's
is
in that
neat,
front room.
Yeah.
The commissions I found were real reasonable too, as I don't recall the specifics of the commissions, but it wasn't bad. I think was it under 40% for the commission on the?
I think the front room is
35?
25%, I believe.
Wow,
Yeah.
that was
Is
it.
that
That was
correct,
that's
Philip?
really low.
Yes,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
25%, and then the people who show in the back room, they rent that small space individually, and by doing that, their profits are 100%.
So it's all volunteer run,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
It's all
Yes.
volunteer
Yes.
run. Cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
501c3. It's a non-profit. It's geared for the community, and we are into that big time. Amy, you got a exhibit of your painting material in the gallery now?
I do.
Front room or back room?
Just moved to the back room
Okay. So
just this past week.
so you had a front room exhibit, and now you're in the back room,
Now
which
in
is
back room
just
renting.
wall space.
You can do both.
You can
Yeah.
do both, yes.
And you can do
You
both.
can
yeah.
do both.
Yeah.
Who, the big question, okay, here's what a lot of people are going to be asking. Who decides what artist is going to be in the gallery? Speaking from my own experience, art is just art. It could be a stick figure and you could call it art. At the same time, I've seen a lot of bad art. I'm a retired appraiser of fine art and antiques. I was an auctioneer, California state licensed auctioneer all my life. I've seen some bad art, in a way. So who decides who gets in? Is there a board? Does it go before the board of directors? Anybody want to appeal in on that?
We do have the board, and if we've not had any issues with not accepting anyone. If we ever did, we would just run it by the board and get a consensus from the board.
Yeah, I assume it has to be family oriented. It can't be pornography or real graphic sexual content.
Fortunately, it's not been a problem.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But if it was, that would
We'd
be our
take care of it,
procedure.
yeah.
We'd
How?
have to pursue that way.
Right, because there's that fine line between what might be considered offensive to some people, and then
Exactly.
the freedom of expression that art
Right.
embraces.
Yes, got to be balanced.
That it embraces completely. How is it different? How is our art scene different from Brookings? I mean, Brookings seems to be a vibrant. I lived there 2 years before I moved here a year ago. It seems like there's more galleries. Number one, more showing space. Right?
There are a lot.
Gail is
just started
nodding.
opening back up again. Now that's still thing with the COVID thing. Everything was shut down, so they really didn't have a lot of the galleries open. And from my understanding, at the time, Manly really wasn't open that much either. But now, that's away and it's opened up again. So all the other galleries are just opening up like crazy.
Yeah.
And they're a little smaller
Yes.
galleries versus Manly's pretty big, and so they got the other little
I think
smaller
Manly has the
individual
same
galleries.
kind of teaching thing. All right,
Yeah.
that's amazing. Here we are, folks. It's already half past the hour. We're halfway through this program.
Wow.
I want to thank you for tuning into this week's live radio show on KFUG 101.1 FM in Crescent City. I'm Jacques Kepner and host of JacquesTalks every Wednesday from 1 to 2, where we talk with talented, unique characters that call our magical coastal kingdom home. If you are a mover and a shaker in any interesting field of business or interest, please let me know. I'm talking about artists, as we have on today. Next week, we'll also have some artists on the show. Musicians, talented in any unique way you are, business owners, etc., please reach out to me. I'm always looking for interesting movers and shakers in our community. And the best route to reach me is on Facebook. You could go to Jacques, that's Jacques, Kepner, K-E-P as in Paul, N-E-R, and friend me, or look out for me on the town, usually out dancing at the dance floor in Enoteca or the Port Pints, or see us at Seaquake. The doctor and I get around town quite a bit, and we love the nightlife here. Again, you can find out more by going to kfugradio.org. Amy, you're a woman, and are there more men artists than women artists currently? Are there a lot of women out there that are artists? There's two here.
There are a lot of women artists.
Yeah? More so? Is that kind of like...
What do you
we've
think?
had
Debbie Dean's
Lloyd...
painting in the studio right now. She's sitting with Sharon, our
Debbie?
hostess.
Oh, are you talking about the gallery or just
Yeah.
in general?
Well, how about both?
Oh.
How about generally?
Well, being new to the gallery, I couldn't give you a count, but it seems to me that there's probably more women, probably because it comes from traditionally more women were doing art
Yeah.
than men, but I'd love to see more
Yeah.
men having
Yeah.
their art in the
Maybe
gallery.
empowered statements too. Some unusual art that makes a statement. You look at the fields of law and medicine. I think both now there's a majority of women
Equalizing.
in law that are coming out of the schools
That's
and
good.
entering into the thing. Is there anybody doing any indigenous native art? The native peoples? Is there some people there?
That
doing
is
that?
one thing in the history that we pursued and we're very successful at. We've got, Hank's got all those good pictures of, like Toowoomba probably, pottery and other things. We just haven't got as far, we haven't solicited enough.
Recently.
It would be
Probably.
nice to see
Probably,
more.
yeah.
So okay.
So if
that's-
you're listening,
yes,
Yes,
yeah,
if you're
come on in.
listening, please.
Bring your work.
Especially the children.
Yes.
I will.
Bring if they have an artistic vein in them and they want to come and do art, and even in this art
Yeah, the art
exhibit
show
here,
coming
yeah,
up.
there is a section for children from 12 to 17 years old.
Yeah, and that's a whole
Yeah.
that's a whole category.
How
Yeah.
long is this
Yeah.
Innovations art show that starts on April 2nd? How long is that? So I'm going to bring in a piece. I'm going to pay $25
Mm-hmm.
to enter that piece. It hangs on the wall. How long is that show going to last?
For the month, all the way to the end of the month,
Okay,
from
so
the 30th. And
it'll-
also the children's art is $10 instead of 25. So we do a children's section for $10 for their
Okay,
pieces of
cool.
art. Yeah.
And what happens? It's an art piece that I want to sell. So if I want to sell it, do I get to put a price on it? And how do I come up with that price? And then you're taking a percentage of that. And what happens if it sells the first day? What happens?
Okay.
Yeah, the first day sell would be a problem because we really want to hold that.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
has to stay there. We
Sure.
want it to stay
Yeah.
there for the
Yeah.
entire show. If the buyer
Is willing
lives
to-
out of town, then
Yeah.
we'll have to ship it to them,
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
But that's kind of usually how it goes.
So
which
usually
happens sometimes.
Yeah.
it would be
Yeah.
April 2nd. So at the end of April, I don't know, 31 days in April.
Yeah,
30.
Yeah.
Are there?
30th, somewhere in there. Yeah, I'll have to
30th.
look at my calendar.
Then
Yeah.
at that point, you could pack it up and take it out.
Yeah, we'll
Yes,
find it.
exactly.
We'll find a way.
Pricing wise, it's pretty much up to the discretion of the artist.
That's
Yes.
correct.
You
Yeah.
kind
That's
of not.
correct.
In general, everything's going to be very reasonable.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think all of my art, I don't think I would sell any of my art. I mean, I'd sell it all under $500. I don't have that much. I don't have some huge idea that my stuff is worth tens of thousands of dollars. I've seen a lot of that art in my life, but what is the most rewarding aspect of being an artist in this gallery? Anybody want to chime in on that one? I mean, it's a unique gallery.
It is a unique gallery, and because it's very homey, and
Yeah,
Yes, it is.
and
Yeah.
since membership is we're a nonprofit and it's membership supported, whether you're working on a project or in amongst the membership. We take turns sitting, hosting
Yes,
the
okay.
gallery,
Okay.
which is a good experience because that allows you to learn more about your fellow membership, and of course talking to the public.
Okay, so back down a little bit, 1 minute. You're saying you become a member, you pay your $45 a year, and then are you required to come in and spend any
We
time
want
a
you to
month?
help out. Yes.
We'd like you to.
How many?
It's not mandatory, but we would really like for you to be a
It's volunteer?
participant
A part of,
in
yeah.
hosting. Yeah.
Okay, so you come in, let's say you'd like people to come in 3-4 days a month. Would that be good, or is it more or less?
Hopefully, we'll
We'd
make
love
it
it
fun.
if the membership would. Yes, of course.
Yeah.
It's what of our hours now? Our hours,
Yeah, what
winter
are they?
hours are pretty short, so
Yeah,
it's not
11:30
that
to
much
4.
of an investment of
Yeah.
your time to come in
Yeah.
and host and
Yeah.
meet people. And
Yeah, and you can even split up the time if there's two people that only want to do it just a couple hours. They can get together with another member and split up the shift.
Do you
and
want
come-
do you want
come and do that.
people? Do you want people to? It's okay. Do you want people to? This is so funny. I love live radio. Do you want more than 2 people in this gallery at all time during operating hours?
We have a regular host.
Yeah, we do.
That's
and-
Sharon.
Yeah,
Hey,
Sharon.
Sharon,
and then
if you're listening,
yeah, if
peace
you're
and love to
listening,
you.
I hope she is.
Hey, Sharon.
Yeah.
Hi, Sharon.
And then we have the sitter hosts come in and hang out with Sharon, and we kind of help talk to people
Yeah.
and do stuff that needs to be done in the gallery and
So yeah,
all that
there's
kind
2
of stuff.
people
yeah.
always,
so it's
maybe
always cool.
maybe
yeah.
3.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Or
there
more.
were 2 when I was
Sometimes
there.
a bunch of us just show up.
Plus, it's great to have the company sit there.
Yeah, I
and hang out
suppose so. And
yeah.
I remember, I
Yeah.
think there was some candies that I ate there.
Yeah, she'll make sure.
And
you
I
don't go
She'll
forgot.
make
I
sure
was
she
like,
gets your
okay.
food.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember that day gained
Yeah.
5 pounds. Getting back to our individual art, Amy, I'll come back to you. What is, if you could describe your artwork in a few one sentence, how would you describe your artwork? Just someone that has never seen your artwork. We're not viewing it here. I've never seen your artwork. Maybe I have. I visited a gallery. Is there somebody here? She's passing
Here,
me
I
something.
brought you a piece.
What is that?
I would describe my artwork
Oh
as
my
being
God.
bit of whimsy and colorful. One word is whimsical.
Oh, how cool. This is a miniature little painted canvas with a fish on it. So this could be like a keychain or
Ornament.
ornament. Oh, how cute is that? And she
Yeah.
signed it on the back. Oh, that's your actual signature? Is that a stamp?
That's just my signature.
Wow.
And then
Yeah.
I named them the fish. So
Uh-oh, did I
that
not
one's
see
Gilly
the-
Joel.
Yeah, I love
This
that.
is Willie
Gilly Joel.
Gilly Joel. Okay, a little tiny fish. Gilly Joel. How cute is that? I love it. I appreciate it. Is this mine? Is
Yes,
this,
it's for you.
okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Well, I really appreciate it. I'll put that on the.
Well, I travel back and forth, to Colorado to, see my grandson and my children. So I have to have things that are portable. So I can't take a big canvas.
Portable,
with
and
me.
they're small, right? This
Uh-huh.
is about
Most of my art is
This is
small.
about
Uh-huh.
a 2x2. It's a little 2x2 inch.
Yeah, about
Yeah,
2 by 2.
inch and a half, 2 inches. That is cool. And Gilly Joel is pretty cool looking. He's putting out some bubbles there, hanging out. Almost got pride colors there, kind of a rainbow color of his stuff. How about you, Philip? Again, describe your stuff in a.
It's always changing. I've been doing lots of pastel sketches that I call sketches because I usually try and accomplish them in half an hour with nothing on my mind other than starting to push color and building as I go. And, years ago, I did a lot of traveling in Europe, so I took a lot of photographs, and then I'd come home and do cathedrals, realistic cathedrals from Venice, or pastoral scenes from photos that I had taken. So it's always changing.
Okay.
It's nothing is ever set in stone. It's
All right.
always something new.
Stephen, again, on your business card, washburnart.net has, I guess, one of your paintings. It's a floral. It's a flower and
Oh yeah, that's there too.
brightly colored. So you're going to sum up your personal artwork as
It's mostly rocks and trees, or it's people. And but I'm gonna start a brand new thing. Where I
wait,
go to-
rocks, trees, and large people like Bigfoot, or is that what?
well, no, rocks and trees or people.
Oh,
kind
or
of the
people. I think
mystery. Like when you walk into the redwoods,
Right.
And there's this,
That's true.
I don't know what it is, some kind of vibration, And then people, because they're interesting just the way they are.
Yeah.
And but my new place of adventure is going to be rocks and trees and people.
Rocks and trees.
But I'm
and
working
people.
on that. I
Rocks
haven't
and
got there. It's a big step. I don't know why it should be, but it seems to be.
Cool. Gail, I saw your van. Everybody could notice your van. Your van out there is quite decked up,
That's cool.
painted up, decked up, lots of stickers on it announcing yours. Again, sum up your art expression.
Well, I'm a nature and wildlife artist, and people have called my artwork photorealistic. I hate that name. I like more try to
Colored
make it
pencils.
as realistic as possible.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is this like using the little dots, little tiny dots, and then makes the bigger?
No. A lot of it's the blending, it's kind of similar to pastel in a way. You do layers, and you also do a lot of blending and
Right.
things like that. So it is really similar. The concept of color pencil versus pastels, it's pretty similar.
About 120 years ago, there was a thing that came along that everybody said, "Oh, that's crazy. It's not going to do anything. It's just there's nothing better than the horse and buggy." And then this automobile thing came along that clunked down the road and made lots of smoke and had flat tires all the time and was a hassle. But people would say that's not going anywhere. How do you all feel about AI art these days?
Oh, that's a good one.
I did it. That's not on script.
It's the
Wow.
new clip art.
Yeah.
That's right.
it is.
I'm not supposed to say it's not on script, but tell us. My personal feeling is I welcome anything. I welcome all art expression, even if it comes from the mind of a robot. I suppose if it's cool enough, it catches my eye. I don't know. Anybody want to chime in?
So far, I've been able to, I think anyway, been able to spot it pretty It's
Yeah.
but
You
that
can
may
spot it
change.
pretty easily, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that
Really?
may change within the next few years or months.
good.
But it's almost like it's clip art.
Clip art, yeah.
And
Wait a minute, I haven't seen a clip art.
it's a way big advancement on it, and it may get better. But I have a bit of a disdain for clip art.
I mean, I can't. I'm looking at Amy's Gilly Joel, the little tiny painting she just gave me. I guess you could say that it could be done by a robot, but it's got distinctive. Well, you hand painted it, right? And put the gloss, and you sealed it, and it's glossy and it's beautiful.
That came up when we were talking about the innovation show, because and we decided that we would not allow clip art. I mean, sorry,
AI.
Yeah.
But-
thank you. But it is something new, and that's part of the definition of what we're looking for. Something new
Yeah.
combined with an established practice.
Okay, so a robot can't be physically painting a picture yet, I don't think. Although elephants and monkeys and chimpanzees have been shown to, right? They can actually paint.
I think some robotic painting is being done.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I know they say that's writing Hollywood scripts for movies now. Well, it's all AI.
Wow.
You know?
Yeah.
And I
Yeah,
say
it
that
is.
that it's not necessarily on a screen or looking like a photograph. Robots are actually applying paint. And,
Yeah, physical, a physical robotic arm
it's
is there.
not. It's a robotic arm. It's not a human arm. Yes.
Maybe abstract, maybe
Well,
not.
robots are
it'd be
doing
assisted.
surgery.
Oh, that's right. Robotic surgery. Whoa, it's around us. It's coming our way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In a way, people say autonomous cars, self-driving cars. Oh, the hell, I'm going to drive my own way. But when you go across southern Wyoming and Nebraska, trust me, I'd like to be in the back playing backgammon with my friend versus driving. So let the robot drive the car.
It would be very similar to the, what is that thing? My horse and buggy's working fine. Why mess with this?
Yes, that's right. That's what I brought that up at the beginning. It is, yeah.
It's
something. So
we've learned to
It's
live
here.
with
We need
it.
to adapt to it, right? Just hopefully they're
here.
not stealing people's art.
right, it's here, it's there. I mean, has anybody tried the AI chatbot, or whatever it is, where you just say, draw me a picture of an eagle eating a balloon that is inside of a marshmallow on top of the Eiffel Tower, and instantly,
David has, because he's been doing a lot of computer assisted art, and he wasn't real happy with it.
That's right.
He found it very frustrating.
That's right. When I talked to him that day that I went in,
Yeah,
Dr.
that
Gigi
came
and
up,
I
huh?
went in.
Fascinating.
Yeah,
David thinks through his art a lot.
It's striking.
He uses
Yes, he
his
does.
computer, and he has amazing programs
Right.
that obviously assist him. But it's not as if he plays with a theme of chess, and so the chess
Yes.
pieces are ending up in the most bizarre places, and his work is beautiful, just striking, as you saw. So I used to have an attitude about computer art, but the last few years I've changed my mind completely.
I agree. I agree with you.
Yeah.
I'm the
I
same.
think David's
Yoke.
thing was about infringement.
Yeah.
He felt that he was being infringed upon, and I've heard that just recently from other artists that you'll take, say, a particular artist painting and AI it to your own specification, and the artist is like
Yeah. Well,
completely
if
out of this.
I might step in.
circle.
Is part of the problem, I think, with that is they don't give credit to the original
Right.
artist when they use that particular picture as a reference.
Right.
And that's kind of respect for the artist's picture
Yeah.
that you're using.
Yeah.
And I think that is one of the main pet peeves that us artists have, is if somebody is going to use our artwork as a reference picture,
Right.
they need to give credit for that.
Yeah, very
And it's just
legitimate.
not, the AI artists and what have you are just not doing that. And I've heard that again and again, that's what frustrates, artists like us, is hey, you know, you got the inspiration to do this from
Right.
me or
Yeah.
Steve or whoever, you know, and I mean, it's just, I think it's a form of respect to at least
I think
say
we're
that's where we
all
got
of us
it.
in this room, I'd be safe to say, we're over 40, 45. And I think the big change has been that when you go to a gallery, you get to see this stuff. You just get to interact with the artist. But today's younger people, my own children, all live in San Francisco Bay Area, they see everything on their phone. They rarely go to a museum or an art gallery anymore because they have so much to pick from on Etsy or Temu or all these sites that you could just get instant art. You just, Dad, you just order it right there on your phone and it's there and it comes in 5 days later. And it's like, we are changing. We're evolving, maybe devolving. I don't know. And where is art heading? Where do you guys see yourself in a few years from now? Are you still going to continue the same medium? Philip alluded to earlier that you, like myself, I didn't like it. AI art. What the heck is that? I'm not. That's computer generated crap. But it's now kind of, we don't maybe even know it is AI. So where are we going with our art? in this
So
world?
when I was about 16, I kind of thought Vincent van Gogh was pretty awesome.
Right.
You know, not overly, but anyway. So I went to the Boston Museum of Fine Art, and I stood in front of a Van Gogh, and that was a whole different experience.
That turned it for
Particularly
me.
his painting, because you know it is somewhat three-dimensional, right?
Right.
But the vibrancy between the colors was almost you could feel it.
to see it life in its life size, real, right in front of it, art.
Yeah.
It
And
does change things.
So I know that there's a difference in that, and I value that. So as an artist, that's would be my pursuit. You know, to get those colors to do that.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I think when you actually go to a museum or art gallery, whatever, and actually see that person's drawing, painting, whatever, in person, you see the emotion and everything that went into creating that when you see it actually in person versus seeing
Yeah.
it,
Sure.
you know, online or having a, you know, print or picture or whatever. And so it kind of draws you into the picture when you kind of look at it and go like, wow, that's cool. And
Yeah.
oh, how did they do that? And wow, you know,
Yeah.
it's just, for me, it's just different when I see it in person.
That's right.
It's just awesome.
When you see
Yeah.
these things in person, it's different. And then, Amy, you gave me this little painting, this little gift, and it's something I could take with me that's easily transportable, and it's
Yes.
a memento of my time visiting here.
Great.
You know, it's real. I've got it in my hand. It's better than receiving something like this from Temu, for instance.
Good.
Or yeah, it's good. It's hand signed and it's got a little unique name on it. So I think that's the creativity of art. I
There's
think
an energetic imprint.
energetic imprint.
And
There you go.
I believe that, you know, I haven't spent a lot of time like in galleries, like maybe shopping, but when you come into like our gallery on the harbor, you walk in there and there's a whole different vibration. There's just a lot of love in that building
Yes.
of what people have put into their work. And, you know, it takes courage too to put your art on the wall.
Yes,
it really does.
Yes, it does.
A lot of people think that maybe
That's a
they're
good
not
point.
artists or they're not good enough, and really you are good enough. So
Yes.
it's important to share that your love for the arts with the world.
Here,
because
here,
you're-
well said.
Absolutely.
You're giving out love, which we all need more
Yeah.
of in this world.
We learn from experimenting like that. It does take a lot to go to a play audition. It takes a lot to submit because people think, oh, what will they think? Tell you what, folks. From my reflection, looking back on the age, don't assume anything. It's all good. And when it comes to art, right? It's you never know how that art will resonate with someone else.
Absolutely.
And the other thing about the gallery too is that we have those classes. So if you're not sure yourself,
Interesting.
come.
Come and
Yeah.
find out.
Yeah, and we'll get the paint out or the pastels out.
And
Wow.
what's so cool about the classes, it's definitely relaxed, fun, non-judgmental.
Yeah.
You walk in there, you don't have to know how to do anything.
Right. Just
You know, we just kind of
go
walk
for
you
it.
through it, and it's to come and have fun and play around with stuff. You
Yeah.
know?
How many members are there now currently? Do we know?
60 something.
I think we're just about at 70.
Are we now?
Yeah, pretty close. Yeah,
real
pretty
close.
So these are contributors. It's yearly dues of about $40-45, I think you said.
That's right.
What a deal! And
An
then
incredible deal.
hopefully you're involved enough so that you get the positive feedback by interpersonal experiencing, by maybe going in and running the gallery with someone else on a given day.
Yeah, sure.
What are the hours of the again? It's
11:30 to
To 4.
4:30. 4.
4 p.m.
11:30
Yeah.
to 4. How many days a week?
Tuesday through Saturday.
So we're closed on Sunday, 11:30 to 4. The address again is, it's right off of, it's on Marin Way, 140 Marin. Okay.
Marine.
And
Well,
It is Marine.
put an E on there.
okay, but it might be Marin. It's right down there off Citizen
Yeah.
Dock. It is kind of hidden a little bit. There's that big mural on the wall that's nearby,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
What do I hear going off here? Uh-oh, something's going, oh, okay, I'm getting a phone call, but we're not going to answer that phone call. This is what's the great thing about this.
Actually, Crescent City has a lot of great murals. They're
does.
scattered all over.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
There's
some of them even verge up to the state park. So they're all over. And we did have a mural society that was quite active and recently has ceased. But it would be really wonderful to get that going again. And we want to get the art walk going again.
For sure.
Because that was very vibrant. That's how I learned a lot about the different businesses and downtown and meeting people was through Art Walk. And so we're toying with getting that back. You know,
think
the
it's-
downtown divas do a great thing.
The downtown
Great
divas,
thing.
yeah.
But that's that's June through October.
Right.
But we'd like to get Art Walk going year round
I
because it's a
reached
very
out to
social,
the
wonderful
downtown
thing.
divas when I first started the show about a year ago, and they kind of stood me up. So
Oh,
I don't hold grudges. I don't hold grudges. One day we'll have to have the downtown divas come in.
You're
and
talking to the
talk.
wrong person. I'll tell you who to talk to.
Okay, I think I did talk to the right person, but that's okay. It's one of those things that happens.
Sure.
There is a issue with downtown Crescent City is finding its own identity. It doesn't really have a great identity. I've had certain restaurants. I've had Daryl Winkleman on. I've had Jeremy with the tattoos. Of trying to bring in the downtown people to formulate similar to what Brookings says. Brookings, I think, has more of a unique downtown kind of feel. They're all there for each other. You're separated because you're out of the dock, right? So you get a lot of tourists out there, I would think, that are just coming
Yes.
down to look
Right.
around, walk down and see the sea lions, for instance, right?
That's right.
In restaurants.
Yeah. Well, we have it right here. We have it right here in our backyards, folks. We only have 1, 2, but we have 3 that I know of. 3 art galleries, and the one that I feel most comfortable. Well, it's really the only gallery I've been into is the Crescent Harbor. I do need to go in and reacquaint myself with the with Second Street Gallery. They're a 501c3 too.
Yes.
They're going to be coming on the show too.
And
So
there's
Cool.
Arts and Culture,
Awesome.
which is across the street
Right.
from the post office. Barbara Burke.
Arts and
has been-
culture.
yes.
Yeah, okay. That's one with the horse, I think. The horse
Yes.
made of sticks is in the
Yes.
front window there.
She
Okay.
was a real gallery for quite a while, and she'd have like 3 artists showing at one time. But that kind of changed, and now she has multiple artists in
Okay.
there. Yeah.
Cool. All right, we are getting close to that point. Amanda Doctor is in the studio, who's come in with her Squirrel Interrupted show coming up next live here on KFUG. We've got a few minutes to go. Let somebody tell out how is the best way to find you. You're open Tuesday through Saturday, 11:30 to 4 at 140 Marine. What about Facebook? Are you on Facebook? Is there a website?
We do have a website. It's crescentharborgallery.com.
Okay, Crescent Harbor, that's a simple one. There is the
And lots of
innovation.
information on it. There's a whole history of the gallery. There's individual artists' work, what we're currently doing.
We got over 60 members, and it's always growing. You're always welcome to bring your artwork in there. I would suggest to any artist that has talent that would love to be able to show their art to others and share with others. What better way than join a gallery?
We would love to have you.
Yeah, it's a no-brainer. It's like, hey, get involved. These folks that I've had in the studio today are just are the face of the gallery. Obviously, thank you for coming into this live studio. We are literally a minute and a half out from. I told you this hour would go by fast.
Oh.
What? Yeah, go ahead.
Next Saturday.
What have we got?
Next Saturday, if you're an outside painter, show up at the harbor because there's a festival.
Is it the plein air? What
It's what it is. It's tsunami resiliency. They're starting up an annual thing
cool.
for this, and so there's a remembrance of the tsunami back in '64.
Right on. Okay,
And-
so that's next Saturday.
Yeah.
No,
this
the
coming, but
16th. The 16th is Saturday.
It would be the 23rd
23rd.
of.
Hey, I know
Saturday,
you.
the
How are
23rd.
you?
Yeah.
Good to see you. Amanda Doctor's got her nice guest in. Is it Charlene? Charlene? Hey, Charlene. Pleasure to see you again. Okay, folks, that's it for us. We are at that point where we got to turn it over the microphone to Amanda Doctor and Squirrel Interrupted, and Charlene is going to be her guest. Gail and Stephen and Amy and Philip, I want to really appreciate. Let's do this again. Let's have a wrap
Yes,
every 6
sure.
months or so. Come in and find out what's happening, what's new, and we will be able to help our community in so doing.
Yeah, we'll
Fol-
have new things to help.
New
Yeah,
things to do. So go down to the
absolutely.
art gallery. Go visit. Go see our museum. Go see the art galleries. Dance when you hear the music. Get involved in our community. We've been listening to JacquesTalks. Please reach out to me, Jacques Kepner, Kepner, on Facebook, and friend me. And maybe, just maybe, we'll have you in the studio with us. With that said, God bless y'all. Peace and love to everybody. Thank you for coming in, and have a good day here on KFUG 101.1 FM.